Welcome to my realm. I'm Tami Jorden, and this is Butterfly Days, the podcast that proves you're not past your prime, you're living in it right now, because women don't have expiration dates. Butterfly Days is a celebration of the extraordinary potential of Gen X and Boomer women. Throughout history, women have shared wisdom to uplift and empower one another, and you're about to learn hard-earned wisdom and best-kept secrets from interesting, inspiring women. So if you're ready to embrace your butterfly season with confidence, find joy in the present, and create a legacy that matters, you're in the right place. No more holding back. Let's spread our wings now. Here we go. We are here today with Dr. Julie Merriman, who you may know from her website, juliemerrimanphd.com. She is amazing at helping women over 50 understand a little bit about how, especially you work with high achievers and looking at when you get emotionally burned out. And part of what I like about your work is you help women understand it and frame it, and then begin to understand how to heal and restore ourselves. So welcome to the show, Dr. Merriman.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with you. Just truly honored.
Well, we're honored to have you. So high achieving women over 50, emotional burnout, it sounds like that cannot be an uncommon story.
Absolutely. I mean, it's more common than not. And the thing about us gals in midlife, we have held the fort for so long, if you will. We've just bared down and just trudged through and took care of those calendars that we looked at and thought, oh, how did I get that on my calendar? Responsibilities show up that we don't know how in the heck they got on our calendar, you know. And if someone needs an extra shift covered, or if the grandkids need to be babysat, I mean, we're right there. We're taking care of other people's needs before they even know they have the need. We are so accommodating, and we've done that for so many years. And we've done it for so many years that by the time we get into our 50s, it's compounded. It's very different from when we're in our 20s and we're vibrant and bubbly. I mean, we're still vibrant and bubbly, but we have so much stress and life that we've dealt with that when we get to our 50s, it really hits us a little different. That burnout, I called it scorched earth. I went through my own burned out period.
Yeah, you are not wrong. That's a good phrase.
Oh, completely scorched earth. I was numb. I write about it in my book, but I was completely numb. I can remember coming off stage presenting, and I had standing ovation, great accolades, and I felt nothing. I felt empty, just empty. I had just been going for so long. I'd lost myself in that process. So that scorched earth can very much be your phoenix as well. When we work through
I love that.
Well, yeah, it's a phoenix moment. I feel like midlife is phoenix. Like, whoo.
100%. The podcast was almost the Phoenix podcast. It ended up being Butterfly because we went with the catalyst and of the metamorphosis. But yeah. And so I understand two things. One is that the calculus of stress on us over 50 is just different because there's just a lot more of it than when you're in your 20s. There are so many more people in family, in work, whatever else you do, volunteering, that depend on you. And if you're high achieving, you've been delivering, baby, right? You're coming in hot with it. Is that also compounded by hormones? I mean, because that's what I'm imagining, but
it is. And two things, especially as high achieving gals, especially when we are at this point in our career, we get the toughest cases. We are given like, well, she can handle it, give it to her. So yes, it's compounded, and absolutely hormones play a game, because our estrogen is a great shield when we're younger. It's a good buffer. That's why we have kids when we're young, right? Because, you got a house full of kids. going different
Because
places.
if it came later, you'd be like, no, no.
Well, I know when I'm babysitting my grandbabies, and I mean, they're teenagers now, but I would think, how in the said I'm healed did I raise babies? You know, 'cause it just, it hits different. But that means that stress is hitting us different too. That's why I
Yeah.
think it's so important in the work I do. I do a lot of polyvagal theory. I really want us, everyone to understand what's going on. We're not broken. We're not losing our minds. Our body is just different right now. And we have to approach things with self-compassion and, really get in touch with our feelings. I'm as a therapist, I'm a very somatic therapist. I use a lot of chakra psychology because it helps me understand what's going on with my clients. And then I can help my clients understand what's going on with them.
So what's a somatic therapist? Give me that.
Somatic therapist, we are talking heads, right? We can be these floating heads of competence. We can talk, and all that time we're being very resistant to actually doing the therapy, actually making change. So somatic therapies, and I teach, as a professor, I train people to be counselors. I teach my students, you got to get people into their body. The longest trip you're ever going to make is from your head to your heart. So you got to, right? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
what, 15 inches? It's a long journey.
It's a long 15 inches.
And we think we're such good thinkers, especially those of us that are overachievers. We're addicted to competence and we think so well. And as I came off that stage, as I was talking about, and I felt so numb, that's when I realized I didn't know where any of my feelings were living in my body. I had lost
Wow.
my body. And that's what somatic therapy does. It gets you re-embodied. Where you
Wow.
tell me, and as I work with my clients, they're brilliant, beautiful souls, but they are so lost the first time I try to take them through a full body scan. Okay, you're saying you're feeling anxious. Tell me where in your body.
Where is it? Oh, I love that.
And they can't find it in the beginning. You have to build a whole new neural pathway to to get into your body. So that's somatic therapies are just getting your client back into the body. I'm also trained as a yoga instructor, so I might put someone in a downward dog to
Yeah.
we got to move.
Just something to ground them back in fully to their body.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
And we gotta move that energy. We're energy beings. And once we start getting re-embodied, I find there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of resentment that because girl, we swap. As women, especially a woman born in 62, raised in a different era, we swallow our truth to keep the peace.
Yes.
That ends up as, over time, resentment in our heart, and then we're ashamed that we have resentment, or we're ashamed we're angry. And any feeling we have is the right feeling, meaning we got to get embodied. Okay, I'm feeling a bit resentful, so let me put my hand over my heart, really breathe into that, soften, remove judgment, bring curiosity. Our bodies are so wise. Ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need? And the answer's there.
I love that because I don't just think, I know you're right in what you're saying. And I think there are women right now listening to this going, oh, but you know what I think is, you say you have to be able to listen to yourself and admit what the emotion that you're having is, not just the thoughts. Don't confuse that, but the emotion. You know what so many of us do next? Even if we got near knowing it was resentment, I shouldn't be resentful.
Oh, absolutely. That's shame. And anytime, and I do this too with my clients, I have them, I'm also a Richard play therapist, so I use activities too.
I love that.
But I'll have them fold a piece of paper, and if we have time, make the cover pretty, because that's always fun. But it becomes their rule book. And anytime an I should comes up, girl, that is a rule. Who the hell says you should? Whose rule is that? And
I
then,
love that. I love that.
They write it down and they think about it. First, let's do a full body scan. Where am I feeling it? Where did that come from? A lot of time it's inner child work we have to do because that's an old message that we got from mom or dad or grandma or people that loved us. But
Culture or something. Yeah. Advertising.
yes. Oh, but we have these rules. Anytime an I should comes up, it's a rule. And you really need to ask yourself, is this fitting me? And it
I
generally
love that.
not.
Is that also the same thing with, you spoke earlier about how we just know that in many cases, the thing that's going to fix the situation is if we swallow that emotion or that objection or whatever. That seems to me also a rule that we internalize. Is that this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's could be tied to a rule. Humans are pack animals. I mean, we've evolved and
Right.
but back in the day, if the tribe didn't like you, you'd get kicked out and you die, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a little kid, so
That's
that's
terrifying.
it's terrifying. And it's a very primal. I mean, that was more of our ancestors, but it's still in our
100%.
DNA.
Sure.
And as we're younger, especially, I mean, my dad, I was raised in Fort Worth, Texas. Daddy'd say, "I'll give you something to cry about." Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes. My mother's from East Texas. They must have grown up in the same
yeah,
house.
yeah. I think. But then if you're a good girl, right?
Yes.
You
Be good girl.
swallow
Don't be
whatever,
ugly.
yeah, made them unhappy. Well, then we're in the tribe. We're safe. And that follows us into adulthood. That's that inner child
Yes.
work I'd talk about.
Yeah.
But girl, the other thing to that is so interesting. So our polyvagal system, that's our fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. The
Fawn,
fawn
right,
is
okay.
often the people pleaser. Let me appease you. Let me make you happy. Our polyvagal system is going to get triggered, is going to activate. Let's say I'm going to set a boundary, and I'm terrified to set a boundary because if I make someone unhappy, I don't know what
The
will happen.
worst. Yeah.
So I go to set this boundary, and my nervous system does not know that it's not a saber-toothed tiger trying to eat me. It responds in the same manner. I start shaking.
Right.
Maybe my bowels go crazy. I mean, you start sweating.
Right.
Your nervous system gets activated. So we have to train our nervous system. It's okay. And
It's
that's-
okay.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important to get embodied.
I love that. Are we hyper vigilant then with perceiving that our having a boundary is going to be upsetting? And is that what sets our polyvagal alarm system off?
It well could be. It depends the message that you have internalized on that. But if the message is you used to get in trouble for setting boundaries, or anytime you set a boundary, someone acted like they didn't like you, it's like, oh, I can't set.
Yeah, I've
Boundary.
learned that lesson. Yeah, never again.
Yes. And boundaries are just one part of it. Maybe it could be, oh, well, it's another boundary. Boundaries are really a big part of it because I'm thinking your boss asks you to stay late and you're like, I have to go take my son to baseball. I
Yeah.
can't. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to get fired. Oh, no. And
Right.
it's that
Super triggering.
super triggering. But we can teach our brain, because what happens with that is your brain, who is, in charge of that nervous system,
Sure.
your brain says, well, we're in survival mode. You're working too hard. You're, meeting everyone else's needs, but your own. So the first thing our brain is going to do, because it wants to conserve energy, it's going to take pleasure offline. So the bedroom's going to go out the door.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That is so interesting. And that protection mechanism comes about because the brain is trying to use less energy
right.
to find the most efficient route to manage what it perceives to be a threat or a crisis or whatever.
Exactly.
So interesting. Because I've only recently learned that basically the entire job of the brain is protection, which is why it keeps throwing possible what ifs and problems and makes you look at the problem first, because it's endeavoring to protect you from a problem which might cause you harm, which would kill you, and therefore it will not operate anymore.
Right. Yes. The brain. And you know, our brain,
God bless our brains, but that's a limitation.
it's a huge limitation. That's why it's so important to learn to get embodied, because we have brain
Yeah.
cells throughout our brain cells are not all here. They're in our belly, they're in our heart. I mean,
Oh,
they're in other places. Serotonin is made in another place in our body. It's not all made here. So it's very,
like in the gut?
yeah, yeah.
Really?
Gut brain, that biome is,
Connection.
yeah, it's a very important connection.
Oh, wow.
And really, and our brain loves us, but it can be a big fat liar sometimes, because it tells us we
Yes.
can think our way out of a problem, and some problems we can, but our nervous system we cannot. Nervous system burnout, we cannot think our way out of that. That's something.
And is that, you know how one of my favorite truths, I think, is that we don't have to believe our thoughts, that
Oh.
we can make a choice about it. And is that in burnout, are we not exercising that muscle, would you say?
I would say there's probably a lot of that going on. You are so exhausted. I don't think we have the bandwidth when we're in full blown scorched earth burnout to be rational about some things. We just
Right.
go, okay, well, I thought that, and I mean that
Yeah.
was
Something must be true. Yeah.
that was one of the most, as I was training to be a therapist, to learn. You mean my thought can be untrue?
Yes, Virginia.
But yeah, that's where, again, I go back to getting embodied. The more embodied we are, we slow down. And if this thought keeps cycling, because that's a stress cycle just going, that it's waiting.
Right.
Your brain is waiting for your nervous system to give it permission to stop. But
Oh, so it's not the other way around. I just think I just got something really big. So your brain doesn't calm your nervous system. Your nervous system needs to calm your brain.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl.
That's why it's so
Tell me
important.
about that.
Well, I mean, that's why it's so important to get embodied, and give your brain permission to take a breath, give your nervous system permission that we're safe, and approach things. And I really have to work with my clients on this, because we are judgy people. We are just judgy, and generally we're the most judgy towards ourselves and the hardest
Yes.
on ourselves. Kirsten Neff out of University of Austin, or University of Texas in Austin, excuse me, I knew something sounded wrong. Anyway, she has researched what is called self-compassion. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that we need to practice as we're approaching trying to understand our nervous system, get our nervous system de-escalated, and really live fully embodied. If we can approach, and our hands are very important. Like, this is my heart chakra, the solar plexus
Right.
chakra, throat chakra. But to place my hand wherever I might feel tightness or something, and love on it.
Breathe into it.
Breathe into it.
Wow.
And the touching, we didn't even talk about all the hormones being dumped, but the touching is going to release some oxytocin, the love hormone. And that is a natural de-escalate. That's why sex is so great. I mean,
Wow.
you get a big dump
Yeah.
of hormones.
Yeah.
When I'm really, really escalated,
Yeah.
our little almond-shaped amygdala, who's always standing for danger, can really get us
Yeah.
activated.
Yeah.
And if I'm really feeling activated, I can put my hands on my face, for me, and just kind of pat and go, Julie, it's important to say your name. Your nervous system needs to hear your name. Julie,
Oh.
it's okay. It's okay. You did the best.
So say your name, touch your heart or your cheeks or something, because we're on, this will be on YouTube, but it will also be in podcast form. So that's what she's doing. She's touching her heart and she's touching her face. And so it's also powerful to say your own name. Do you know why?
Yeah, well, your brain goes, oh, she's talking to us. That's why
Yeah.
you've been somewhere and your name's been said, I'm sure. Maybe it wasn't Well, I have where they say Julie, and it's not me they're talking to, but
Oh, yeah. Mom, that'll do it. I
that's
don't care
true.
where you are, your head will go
All
around.
these women go, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just important to let your nervous system know, sugar, I'm talking to
Yes.
you, and it's going to be
Yes. It's
okay. Now I'm patting my
okay.
face here, but you can also pat your hand, or again, put your hands wherever that tightness might be feeling. My
Oh, that's
anxiety lives
beautiful.
in my solar plexus, which is our power center, and I have to tap on that quite a bit if I'm anxious.
Just below your ribs, or where your ribs meet
Right, just below your
approximately.
diaphragm. Yeah,
Okay.
but
And that is your, as I understand it, that's the seat of agency and your self power. And what else would you say?
yes, self-efficacy, believing in yourself, that, oh, that does so much, but just your self-confidence lives there. That
Yeah. And then heart chakra would be,
relationships.
yep, yep, base of your sternum, probably.
And yes, and well, where your heart is. And
Yeah.
I think it's important we remember relationship with others. And sadly, when we're really burned out, that's one of the first things to go.
Yes.
We start pulling in and finding irritability coming up. But also to remember it's relationship with self. That's the one
Yes.
relationship you're going to have your entire life. And it's,
Yep. That's the one you're taking to the. I'm a death doula. I can tell you for sure. That's the only one you taken.
yeah. And it's important that we not ignore it. And then our throat
Yeah.
chakra, I have found in the ladies I work with, it's from swallowing that truth, that
Oh,
authenticity
wow.
so much.
Yes. I have, when you say that, I have to share this because I think you might appreciate it. I cannot tell you the number of women that I know who have a hard time speaking their truth or saying the hard thing. And when they do yoga or things where chakra work is more commonly utilized, that throat chakra, but even when they're trying to tell you or
Oh,
cough or
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah,
it's activated throat chakra.
absolutely. Jaw issues, thyroid cancer. I mean, yes. And so many women I work with, well, yeah, they start like, oh, it's so tight. I feel like I've a lump in my throat.
Yeah.
I assign, of course, I'm out in the country, so we can go out and scream.
I
Nobody's
love
gonna
that.
nobody's gonna hear, but singing in the shower, um, humming where you
Oh,
vibrate. So,
yes.
sometimes in my clinic, it sounds like I was having orgasms because I have them doing the sound. Yeah, so really making a guttural sound that vibrates. That
I have
vibration.
heard that when when you have anxiety or when you're dysregulated, that humming can be helpful. Is that what you're saying?
It's very helpful. It helps to bring that vagus nerve back online and regulate it. Also, if you're really dissociated or really, I mean, it happens. We have traumas in life and we get us dissociated. And I know when I'm working with my patients online, it's important to have tools to help people get back in their bodies. So, just naming 5 things you see in the room can kind of help
Oh,
bring yourself back in. Sucking on a really flavorful lemon drop or something like that can also
yes.
de de-escalate and help that vagus nerve settle back down. But
So
humming
that
is
you're not out there predicting danger and catastrophizing, but instead you stop and you be fully present in the moment that you're in right now, which is, we know this, it's the only moment where you actually have any power.
the only moment. That's right.
That's so interesting. You said something else extra, and I wondered, it made me think of something, and I wondered if you knew about it. I just learned about the experiment that they did with a bunch of people, putting them in solitary confinement, turning all the lights off, no sound, and leaving people for like, I think it was 48 hours with no stimulus, and that they had people have seizures, psychotic breaks, episodes, just a lot of problem except for one guy. And he came out fine. So they went back to try to understand it. And it turns out that what he had done naturally, he's probably an extrovert, but what he had done was he had said, I'm breathing, I'm sitting here. he narrated every single thing he thought about or did during that time. And they realized later that it kept him centered and he didn't experience any of the sort of trauma that the other folks did. And so they now use that technique. If you're ever kidnapped, the SEALs use it for if you're ever kidnapped or anything and you're in solitary, narrate, because your own voice anchors you and it's also calming, I guess, to the nervous system.
Yeah, well, and I'm still here. I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I have not
We
heard
should
that.
use that line, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
okay.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I am
And
safe.
I'm safe. I'm okay. And it's okay not to be okay. And by that, I mean it's okay to have a negative feeling. We tend to
Yeah.
want to short circuit through those. And it's important. Yeah. But I love that study. It made me think. I'm trained in mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy. And I had to go live at a monastery for 2 weeks in silence to be trained. Because there's
I
a lot.
love this.
Oh, the girl, there's a lot of meditation that goes with mindfulness-based
Yeah.
cognitive behavioral therapy. But what I found very interesting, the number of people who had to leave because, I don't know, they were having psychotic breaks, but they just could not handle the silence.
Wow.
But I mean, it's fascinating to me.
That is fascinating. Were you in Gethsemane in Kentucky?
I
that
was
where
in
you-
Connecticut.
Oh, in Connecticut. All right. Very nice. Yeah, I have I've known a few people who either went for silent retreats in Kentucky or there's an Abiquiu north of Santa Fe in New Mexico is also does some stuff.
I highly recommend that for especially as we're trying to thaw our frozen nervous system after,
Yeah.
you know, at our age after we've been on, high achieving, go, 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 because as we
Yeah.
thaw, some things can happen. And I think
Sure.
people don't talk about that enough. You might get migraines, you might get, some
Wow.
things you've been pushing off.
Yeah.
I'm time to deal with it. Might show up as you're beginning to thaw, and it doesn't mean you do anything wrong.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it just means some things are coming back online that we have short circuited for too long.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things that at Butterfly Days that we think a lot about and try to stay mindful of is that this is the most powerful section of life that we've had yet. We are the smartest that we have ever been. We have generally are on the second side of having raised a family if we chose to do that, or if we did not and we leaned instead into, let's say, career. We are, on the generally the height of whatever that's going to end up being. And because of that, I think about what you're saying about learning to come back into yourself, because that's where you are most empowered and finally maybe dealing with some stuff that wasn't so hot. If we are going to have the most empowered chapter, we're going to have to be in our bodies and comfortable and no longer using coping mechanisms that maybe were effective for us when we were young.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. It's a homecoming, I think, of this age.
Oh, I love that.
No,
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I whoever's listening, I just want to invite you to think of it that, this stage in our lives, the over 50, the menopause, postmenopausal, menopausal, peri, whatever you are, this is a homecoming. And that's probably part of why you're even listening to this message, is because you're being brought the understanding that it's powerful to come back home to you. And the way that Julie is teaching it is so lovely. So we can do these self-comforting moves of putting our hands on our body. We can use our voices, say our name to call ourselves back in. And then what? Okay, we're back in our body. How do we stop being, and I don't know if you want to stop being a high-achieving person. There's probably a certain portion of that that's important for you, something in your makeup, But then what?
Yeah. It's important that we know how to sit with ourselves. because I mean, Lord knows I've got the T-shirt of a high achiever. Not that I wanted to, but
Yeah.
and I still do a lot of things. But you know what? Here's what's different. You own your calendar. You own your freedom. You set.
I
You
love that.
yeah. And in my younger years, I was so busy trying to be approved,
Yes.
let me earn my worth. And I, as I've come home, I'm worthy. Just being me. I don't
Yes.
have to earn my worth. And I don't,
Yes.
I'm not ready to sit on the back porch and do my rocking chair. So
No, that's later.
that's later. That's later. I mean, my mom is still not doing it. She's running her own ranch still,
Oh, I love that. I love that.
but yeah, it's, we're not trying to prove anything anymore. That's what's,
No. It seems to me that that alone would be powerful for our nervous system to no longer be, Brene Brown says, right, hustling for your worth.
right.
That, and it's one of the things, it's like one of the first keys in Butterfly Days teaching is that over 50 is a period where you must no longer allow someone outside your body to determine your worth, but instead the seat of judgment and of who you are and of what you're capable of must be, and how proud you are, must be within your own heart, in the throne of your own heart.
Absolutely. Beautifully said.
Oh, that is so beautiful. But I love that we can use techniques and an understanding that if we don't help this body calm down, we can't realize what we need to clear out or what we need to see or understand to have that powerful self-love that's going to create the post-50 life where we're like, hell yeah, that's my life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. It takes some work, and it's never one and done, but we have to continue maintenance and working on things, but it is free. It is so freeing.
But your book is about the Soul Joy book. What would you say like is the primary, does that relate to what we're talking about? It sounds like it does when I read the title.
Yeah, absolutely it does. It's about, I call it holistic, sustainable health care, but that's, I used to think self-care, as I was building my little life, back in the day, I thought self-care was like this beautiful cherry you put on top of the sundae.
Yes.
And then as I went to my scorched earth, I realized, oh, wait, your whole
Ew,
life.
wait.
Self-care must be the foundation of what we build on. And for me now, self-care really is about nervous system regulation. And that's in the book too. But it's a 12-week guide. Every week we go through a chakra and we go through a weekly pursuit where you have to, it's work. My husband's oncologist. We've been dealing with brain cancer, but my husband, and he's going to be fine. We're in remission. We're over. Thank you. But I gave, a couple weeks ago, I gave my husband's oncologist a copy of the book. And and he came back, when we came back for another visit, he went, you can't just read that book. You have to work that book. And that's true. You have to somatically get embodied to work that book. That's how change happens. We can't just think about it.
And then I love the language in pursuit of soul joy. Is that because when we are fully in our body, we are calm, we feel the love that we have for ourselves, we're able to do that. That's where we experience the deepest joy? Like, is that where your connection is here?
That's part of it. Absolutely. When we are really embodied and able to understand, oh, wait, what's going on there? We can experience spontaneous joy.
Oh, wow.
Just like,
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah.
why I'm happy, but I'm happy.
Who cares? Ride that.
And
Take
then-
it.
Yes. And I also invite women to quit asking permission. To just
Preach it, sister.
just do your soul joy. And it's going to be different for everyone. But to allow yourself that freedom without permission, it's not going to show up.
Is that because we have to give ourselves I think I've recently been understanding that I have to give me permission.
That's right.
Stop expecting that it's going to happen external and be authentic to me.
Absolutely.
I have to I have to stop asking permission. I have to stop shrinking and minimizing, and apologizing and swallowing everything. As a matter of fact, I don't do, every year, you do your affirmations, whatever. I don't do those so much, but I like to choose a word. And so this year I have 2 words. One word was serendipity, which it's just good. And it has a lot of resonance for what's going on. But the other word is mastery. And for me, mastery means exactly, it's so crazy that I'm interviewing you, because mastery means to no longer act as if you are not capable, or that you don't have a right to perfect what you know, and to own your wisdom fully and show up with it, to understand that you belong in any room, at any table, with anyone that you decide to show up for, that you don't need permission for that. And it seems that's what you are trying to support women in getting to, is their mastery.
Oh, I love that. Absolutely.
Self-mastery, I think, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that internal locus of control has to be within us. Whenever we hang it somewhere else, we're a flag in the wind.
Yeah. That's a good imagery too.
Yeah. And it's there for the taking. We just have to step into it, believe in ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and we have to know, and I this sounds silly, but I know there are women listening to this right now that it's going to be a bit of a revelation to say, you need to take that for yourself. That's not ever going to be offered to you, and it's okay if you do that. That's actually what this period of life is about. You'll likely, you will have your own scorched earth moment, and that's how come it's shoving you at that.
Yes, absolutely. And that is
Birthing you, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's an opportunity. I mean, and we have to give ourselves permission to take that opportunity without guilt, without shame, without, but Billy needs me to make his lunch, or whatever it might be. And Billy's
Right.
55. Billy can probably make his
I
We're
love that
used
so
to-
much.
Well, we're so used to serving. We've become
Yes.
the empty cup. They say you can't pour from an empty cup. That's hogwash. You can pour from an empty cup. And then
Oh, girl, and I've done it.
yeah, yes. So we have, without guilt, without shame, stepping into that, I have every right and responsibility to myself to step into that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not just for other women. That's for every single one of us to be able to have that right and that joy to be able to do. But nobody else ever does that for you. You must do that work. I think that's probably true maturity for a female,
I think you're right. I think you're right. I
just
don't.
developmentally.
Yes, and I've been through a lot of phases. Girl, I got married at 16. That's a whole other.
We're gonna talk later.
I wasn't pregnant, but anyway. But I mean, we've been through so many phases and stages, and I embrace every one of them. The ladies I work with, sometimes there's a lot of shame, and they have to forgive, and trust me,
Yeah.
I have a therapist. I've done my work, but
Right.
I had a lot of things I needed to forgive myself for.
Yes.
But as we arrive at this age, that's all wisdom and information and yumminess that we can approach this next, I call it the radiance chapter as we move forward.
Oh, I love that. I love the idea that we could move into radiance, that we could, because, society, the whole Sunset Boulevard and the whole women are over at 50. Oh, We're moving towards radiance, as you said. We know we are not having our mother's retirement experience or our mother's midlife experience. This is a chance for us to shine with knowing what we know now. But I love what you're bringing to what we've been talking about here, which is you're saying part of how you're going to do that is you're going to notice that you've been doing everything for everybody, and you're going to come back into your own body and realize that you can love you.
Yes.
And then what happens? That you can forgive you. Because, have you noticed in your practice, do you get this? Where I have done it, and I've also seen it with friends, where they believe that they have done something that was horrible or unforgivable or just inexcusable early in their life. And
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And really the problem with that isn't that anybody else, because I don't know about you, but I have been around the block a few times. I'm not going to judge you on things that you might think at all. But if you carry the judgment against you and the fear that everybody else thinks as poorly of you as you think of yourself.
But that's impacting your nervous system.
Yeah.
And
how could it not?
And it's false. It's false. We judge ourselves so hard. And I've also found that women, and something I worked through myself, will be angry at themselves. I can't believe I let him treat me that way. Or I can't believe I let, and we just have to love.
I should have said.
Yes, yes, yes. How could I be so stupid?
Right.
We have to love ourselves, all the stages. And I do a lot of inner child work with my ladies, because I think that inner child carries some guilt and some shame that we need to release, or even some trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us have, anyone who survived childhood has some kind of trauma.
Yes.
Big T or little t.
But you know what I love that you're saying is that this is not, you're not trapped with the pain and the mistakes and the judgment that you're carrying right now. If those things are impacting you, there are ways to navigate out of that, to live in that radiant joy place. It's not just for some people. It's possible for anybody.
Everybody.
Who should get Julie's book. How's that for a good plug?
I love that. But everybody deserves that.
Yeah.
Generally,
Yeah.
we have the key to ourselves. It's in our heart. And
Yeah.
we can let ourselves out. It's not,
Oh, I love that.
it's not serving anyone staying in that.
So how did you, I've listened to a lot of things and I know that they are therapeutic because I read, have friends, whatever, I have a general working understanding of that. But how did you connect? Because I hear Eastern philosophy coming in also, probably with yoga, I'm not sure, but how did you connect? Because you've done something a little bit original. You're taking chakras and understanding of the nervous system. You're putting it over a polyvagal understanding, which we maybe should explain exactly what the polyvagal system is there, just in case there's somebody who doesn't know. But how did you come to see that you could add that into your therapeutic model? Because it really makes what you're saying very powerful.
It just made sense to me. And as I've taught, I was teaching aerobics back when Jane Fonda.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So many women on this are nodding their head.
Some thong exercise.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into physical, baby.
So even in high school, I was moving. I remember one of my professors back in my first graduate degree was like, whatever you do, it's going to be with movement. I was thinking it might be dance because, bring therapy into that. But But so I naturally was drawn to this embodied somatic kind of work. And then as I became trained in yoga, and I'm also trained in a technique called emotional transformation therapy and bioenergetics. And though emotional transformation therapy, I can ask, where you feeling what in your body, just a physical sensation, be curious, because I'll get them somatic eventually. But as we just start with a body scan. And then I can put the color light and it flashes. It's just, I'm not smart enough to explain why this works,
Right.
but the theory is out there. If someone wants to look it up, it's emotional transformation therapy.
Okay.
But as our eyes intake that color, it makes a difference. I've seen too many of my clients overcome some just that couldn't even maybe go to work. They had so much anxiety.
Wow.
Overcome some just life
Crippling.
changing. Crippling. That's the word. Thank you. Just been estrogen depleted brain.
Girl, you can always ask for a word on here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But so between emotional transformation therapy and then bioenergetics, which looks at how energy, it's interesting with the airport and I watch how people walk. People will walk kind of hunched over
Yeah.
or holding a certain way. That's energy stuck in their body. And bioenergetics
Wow.
helps move that. And so those two things together really had me think, well, why aren't we using the chakra psychology? And since Stephen Porges, the gentleman who developed the polyvagal theory, and that's just looking at that fight, flight, or freeze, which we all do. When we get upset, we either want to, beat
Yeah, dig
someone
it
up,
out.
or you want to
Yeah.
run away, or you want to just fawn, freeze. And fawning's a part of it too, with that appease. But I thought that to me, it just made sense. It just made
Yeah.
sense that those two things have to go together, because otherwise we're just up here.
Right. We have to, we are not just what exists between our ears. We are in these spaces. Although I do think, and I was thinking about this when you were talking, I was thinking, I know that I am not my body. I know that I am in my body, but when my body is upset or stressed or even joyous, my ability to be me is impacted.
Yeah. Our body is our vehicle through this life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my grandmother, who was born in 1913, loved by Boom Bee. She was amazing. But she used to always tell me, your body is your temple, and you better take good care of it. And I think that that's very important. Not only, we love to exercise or whatever, but understanding our body gives us
Yes.
such good information. My goodness, why is my tummy upset? Well, there's information there, and if we learn
Yeah.
to listen, it's game changing.
So maybe my stomach is hurting because I'm not comfortable with something I'm hearing or that the way someone is behaving. My body is actually telling me what my brain does not want to think about
Your body, yes.
or admit because the shoulds are on me usually.
And
Yeah.
it's-
Wow.
As I'm working with folks, just to make it simple, our thoughts happen in our head, feelings happen in our body, and that gives us so much information.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're both important, not just your thoughts and not just your feelings, but the wisdom is that appropriate balance of, what the brain knows and what the heart knows, your feelings.
Yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah. And I can't think of the author's name. It's a Dutch name, but it's The Body Keeps Score. I'm sure
Yes. Oh, the body keeps score. Sure.
that's such an important read because, as we're thawing, as we're working, doing our work, we could have some uncomfortable memories come up, but we can't avoid them because it just keeps it stuck. We have to
Release it.
release it, or it's going to hang around. It's just
Oh, that's so beautiful. And, if you want to do the most important thing. Now, I know that currently, because you don't have all day, so we'll take you home with this. But I know that you have a new book coming out, and I have no doubt that people would be interested to hear about this. Tell us about it.
I'm so excited about this book. It's called, the name of it is Are We Going to Have Sex or What? And it is for women over 50 to help with healing, to improve sex and intimacy by really healing our nervous system and understanding how that could be impacting. Yes, we need hormones. I'm not against hormones.
Of course, right.
But we also need to understand what's going on with our nervous system, understand.
Yes, that makes so much sense.
Oh, yes. And I have two podcasts, Compassion Fatigue Cure and Sexy After 50. But I just recorded a podcast yesterday that dumps, it's not today, I guess. But anyway, it's about sex toys and how sex toys can help open. I mean, we talk about removing the shame and blah, blah, blah. But actually the vibration of a vibrator can help that nervous system come back online.
Reset.
Yes.
Holy cow. This is great because that's the kind of thing that doesn't get talked about much. And as women, it's something that it's important to know. Absolutely. So interesting. Yeah. So now that you've said it, it makes so much sense to me that if you have gotten yourself out of alignment and rigid and stuck and trapped in all of the shoulds and what you should do and no longer in proper communication with your heart, that of course that's going to impact your ability to have intimacy with another person because you don't even have it with yourself.
You don't have it with yourself. And those so much obligatory sex when our brain is so busy at work over the years and we love our partner, but lots of things that we need to
lots of things. Yeah. But when you pile that with the physiological, just like you said about you most of us probably needed some hormones to help us mitigate some of the physical symptoms and emotional of what goes on. But of course, this makes so much sense. I love this. So when is your book due out?
March 21st. It should be available on Amazon, but I'll have a link on my website too. But
okay,
I'm excited for it. And so my husband, I've been married to for 35 years. He's my second husband. He's amazing, and I'm a little older than he is. On our first date, that's what I said to him. Are we going to have sex?
Which is how she's kept him for 35 years.
Yeah, he was a little inexperienced. We got him up to speed, but
that's good. That's good. We appreciate that.
Yeah. But he's the one who said, you should name that book that.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And I sometimes we forget that, how interconnected all of it is up here in our mind and in our heart. And high achieving women often, probably always, if really, we've internalized a lot of shoulds and what we need to do to achieve success,
That's right.
But you know what? 50 is a great moment to say, okay, I'm going to question the givens.
I love that. Absolutely. If not now, when? 50 is a great time to start
questioning my language.
Well, and those people on Sunset Boulevard or wherever saying when you're 50, it's over. They're scared of us. They're scared of us.
I think, they should be. If they're not, they should be. That's what
evolved 55-year-old is something to behold.
Is something to behold. And I'm trying to get to end up being a fully evolved 65-year-old. I'm not there yet, but I can smell it.
I think you're closer than you think.
What a wonderful, wonderful range of things that you have talked to us about today. And I love that we're challenging you as you're driving your car or folding your laundry or wherever you are when you're listening to this podcast. I love that today we have brought up ideas for you to pay attention to your own body, to think about if you are holding stress in it, and to know that you can let it out and you can find a path forward. And Dr. Julie is happy to help you. She's juliemerrimanphd.com. You know, you can find that on the show notes on Substack, or Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening to this. But we have the power to understand that we don't have to just be what we are right now. We can be more. We can rise from the scorched earth, the ashes, come out of the chrysalis. But we do it by being aware that there's more love for us, but it's in our own hearts.
Right here. Yeah. Yeah. So true.
I love that. Julia, such a beautiful message. Now, people can also find you on Instagram. Is that Dr. Julie Merriman, correct?
Yes, Dr. Julie Merriman. Mm-hmm.
And then you're also on Facebook under your name,
Under my
Julie
name.
Merriman.
Yes.
Okay.
And YouTube. I have a YouTube channel.
Yes, I thought you did. Your YouTube channel is actually good. It's one of the ways that I found you and really appreciated some of the things that I was seeing.
I have a quiz that it's called Somatic Signature Quiz.
Oh, I
It's
love this.
free.
Tell us.
Well, it's free. It's on my website, Somatic Signature Quiz, and it's just 60 seconds, but it will tell you what somatic signature is running your life, and that's a place to start.
Oh, that's a brilliant place to start. So they can just come to the website. You've got this very quick little quiz that they can take, and they can begin to have a starting point for thinking about this. The book is great because it's set up to actually work with you and, you know, for you to sort of teach us what you know that we can use to actually get started, which I love. You know, a lot of women who listen to this podcast, they're very busy. They don't have a lot of time. And what I've always tried to do is to provide real value. And what I love about your website and with your book is that you are taking people straight to the answers and to the place where they can be connected with good information that will leverage them to go forward. And I think that's amazing, Julie.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing that.
I love it. I love it. I think you guys will really enjoy Julie if you're not following her on Instagram as I am. You're also on LinkedIn, correct?
Oh, I am. Yes, I am.
That's what it was. I knew there was one more. And you can also find her on LinkedIn if you would like to reach out. Do you work with clients, or what is your...
I do work with clients. I'm about to start a book club to go with Soul Joy and this new book that I think that we'll meet like once a month, and I'll lead a discussion that I think will be fun.
Yeah.
But I also have, it's called the Radiance Intensive Reset, which is a 7-day meeting with me daily. Now, women I work with are busy too. It's I'm not asking a lot, but we meet on a Zoom call and process the information that we talked about in an email that day. So
That's amazing.
it's all
That's
about
amazing.
trying to get our nervous system regulated and live our soul joy.
I love it. I think there, wow, got me right there, girl. There are just so many things that we could be doing in life, but what I see you doing is finding ways to help more women come back to themselves, own their truth, and find more love, more joy, more deliciousness in life. And I think to myself, Julie, what an incredible calling that you're answering to at 62?
3. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
At 63. I hope more women are inspired that here you are at this age, an age where they told us probably long ago that we would be over. And you're touching lives. And that's crazy beautiful.
Well, I love that. I'm not done.
You ain't done. I love it. I love it. Well, we'll have you back and you can tell us about more later. Thank you for joining us today. We have all enjoyed hearing from you. If you know somebody who would really benefit from listening to Julie talk about her work and about somatic healing and understanding your polyvagal system, etc., please feel free to pass this episode on. We know that wisdom is passed from one woman's heart to another. That's the history of the planet. I'm rooting for you. You keep going, girl, because I love what you're doing. What beautiful, important work.
Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful you listened to this episode. I hope it was a real value to you. If there's a sister in your life who needs this message, please share it, just like women have done to lift each other up over the centuries and across cultures. Women lifting each other is so important. It's why I do this work. And to avoid FOMO and keep up leveling your own life, make sure you don't miss the next episode. You may be losing hormones, but your life has given you powerful perspective. And I believe you have something to give that no one else does, that the world needs. So remember, I'm rooting for you. Let's go.